We're going to be talking about reported speech. Reported speech means simply that you are telling somebody what somebody else said. This can be in a casual situation where you might be telling a friend what another friend said. But more importantly, it is used often in presentations when you are looking up information, you're finding facts to support your ideas, and then when you use those facts, you have to say what the organization or the individual said. And so you report what they said. Obviously, what they said is not current. It's not something that they're saying right now. So when you report this, when you tell other people what they said, you have to move your verb tense one back. So for example, if you're listening to somebody now and they say, I like swimming. That's the present tense. That's something that's true all the time. So now imagine that you are, the next day, you're telling somebody else what Dominic said yesterday. Yesterday, Dominic said, but you can't say, I like swimming, because that's what he said yesterday. So you have to move your verb tense to the past. Yesterday, Dominic said that he liked swimming. So we move our verb one space back because that's when he said it. He said it yesterday, so you have to use said in the past and the verb in the past. You've got your worksheet. So you can look at example 1. Dominic said, I like swimming. And rewrite the sentence in reported speech, starting with Dominic said that Did you get it? Dominic said that he liked swimming. Here we can see too that you could also say Dominic said that he liked swimming or Dominic said he liked swimming. It's optional. It doesn't matter whether you put that or don't put that. Same thing. You'll see here too that I've got this word in pink, said. All of the different ways of reporting speech. You can say said, told, but you can also say asked, added, asserted, pointed out that. So throughout this PowerPoint, the pink words are all different ways of reporting speech without saying said, said, said all the time, just to give you some options. The same way that with the present simple, we go back to the past when we report speech, it also happens with the present continuous. We change it to the past continuous. So again, on your worksheet, take a minute, change this sentence to reported speech. The boy said, did you get it? The boy said that he was washing the dishes. Or the boy said he was washing the dishes without that. Very good. So that's what you do if somebody tells you something and at the time that they say it, they use the present tense or the present continuous tense. You move everything one space back to the past. What do you do if when somebody's speaking with you, they use the past tense? They are talking about something that happened to them in the past. So here's an example. The firefighters said, we worked for 24 hours straight. So the time that they tell you this is now, but they're telling you about something that happened in the past. And what do you do when you're now telling this information to somebody else? You are reporting on what the firefighters said happened to them in the past. You have to go back past perfect. You have to go back now 2 spaces into the past when you report this speech. So you're going to say, the firefighters said that they had worked for 24 hours straight. When somebody says something to you and they are talking about a past event, when you report what that person said to you about a past event, you use the past perfect. So let's try this one. You can get your worksheet out. The firefighter said, did you get it? The firefighters said that they had worked for 24 hours straight. And the same thing happens with the present perfect, because the present perfect is sort of a past tense that is connected to the present. So we use the past perfect when we have reported speech. An example, the girl remarked, "I have been selected." The reported speech would be, the girl remarked that she had been selected. So when the speaker originally tells you something, if they use the past tense or if they use the present perfect, both of those tenses, when you report that speech, go back to the past. This one is a little bit tricky because when you have somebody who speaks to you and they are talking about something that will happen in the future or can happen or may happen in the future. So for example, you might be emailing me, "Where is this assignment? I can't find it." And I say, "Oh, that assignment will be posted soon." And then your classmate says, "I can't find that assignment." And you can say, "Ah, the teacher said that assignment would be posted soon." So when we report something that a person was saying will happen, we have to put that modal verb into the past tense. Past of will is would, past of can is could, and the past of may is might. Here's some examples. The government said we will create a new holiday. Reported speech would be, did you get it? The government said they would create a new holiday. How about can to could? The children asserted, "We can sing loudly." Reported speech, you can write this on your sheet. Did you get it? The children asserted that they could sing loudly. And may to might, the mother stated, "I may stop by Tim Hortons on my way home." Did you get it? The mother stated that she might stop by Tim Hortons on her way home. And you'll notice here that, of course, we have to change the pronouns, the same as we did with government. The government said we, and then when you're reporting that, the government said that they. Same thing here. When you are reporting this speech to someone else, you're now talking about the mother, she. So you're not going to say I. And the same with my, you'd say her way home. There are some exceptions to this. When you have a situation that is either timeless, so it's always true, it never changes, like the earth goes around the sun, or if there is something that is currently happening, he warned a storm is coming. In these situations, you don't need to change the verb tense. So it's going to look like that. He warned that a storm is coming, or he said that the earth goes around the sun. So when the situation is always true, or when it's currently happening, you don't need to change the verb tense when you report the speech. This is a little bit more difficult because when the original thing that somebody said is a question, that person was asking the question currently. But when you're reporting that to somebody else, you're not asking them a question. You're making a statement. This is the question that somebody else asked. So you need to change the question into a statement. The tourist asked, "Where is the nearest bus stop?" becomes, So you have to change the word order. For a question, where is the nearest bus stop? The answer would be where the nearest bus stop is. So it would look like this. The tourist asked where the nearest bus stop was. We already saw this in a couple of the examples already, but you may need to change the pronoun. I told her, you and I can do more. Of course, when you report this, I told her, she and I could do more. The last one is, when somebody is asking a yes or no question, you use if or whether to introduce that question. And when somebody uses a command, you use an infinitive to introduce that command. So for example, we have our sentence, the UN speaker asked, are you ready to make a global commitment? Then do it. So when we report this to somebody else later on, we need to change it. So we have, are you ready? That's a yes/no question. So we're going to use if or whether. And we're also going to change this verb tense. And we have a command. So we are going to introduce that command with an infinitive. And it looks like this. The UN speaker asked whether they were ready to make a global commitment and told them to do it. So I hope that was helpful. On your worksheet, you've got those example sentences. Keep that handy for when you do your presentation so that you'll be able to report the information that you find from your sources.